I told my ex that I don't care about his relationships after his fiancée ended things with him. I have a child with my ex. We separated when our child was just 1 year old. I have primary custody and my ex visits our child 2 weekends each month. The reason for this is my ex decided he didn't want to give up his whole life to be a parent and he thinks every other weekend is enough. I should also note he doesn't always take his weekends and has let our child down in the past. 3 years ago, he started dating someone else and they got engaged in February of this year. Once they were engaged, I started getting calls and texts from an unknown number and I found out it was his fiancée. He had told her I would be open to her coming over and taking my child out for the day, and he gave her my number so we could plan this. He never mentioned it to me, and it took entirely too long for me to figure out what was going on. Getting a bunch of texts from an unknown number saying, answer the phone, call me, I'd like to meet up and figure this out, is not something I expected. When I did answer a call from her, she was set on taking my child out for the day. She told me, my ex said it was okay. I told her it was not okay and I didn't know her and I wasn't going to hand my child over to someone like that. Then I suggested she make the most of the time my ex has. This was not a popular answer with her and she had my ex using our co-parenting app to send request after request for me to let his fiancée take our child out for the day. My ex told me in July that I was saying no too much and it was ruining his relationship. Last month, his fiancée ended their engagement and broke things off with him. She blamed me via text and said she was not going to stay in a hostile environment where she's treated like stranger danger towards the child she's supposed to be the stepmother of. My ex blamed me for this too. He accused me of sabotaging his relationship and chasing away potential stepmothers from our child's life. I told him I did not care about his relationships. What I cared about is having someone I don't know feeling entitled to take my child from my home. Then I pointed out he was the reason she believed she could in the first place. Instead of just moving on and accepting what happened, he is telling everyone I broke them up. Some of his buddies are quick to say something when they see me. I think most people see it as nonsense because he's not a very involved father to begin with. I did have a mum friend in a mum group that I'm a part of tell me I kind of did sabotage his relationship because the woman he was with was trying to know my kid and I didn't let her. She said I had no reason to say no like I did once I know who was texting and calling and what she wanted. This turned into a small fight because I asked her if she would be okay with it, and she told me she would. She said most single mums with primary or full custody would love for their kids to have people who want to take care of them. She said it was my ego that made me break them up because I didn't want my child to have a stepmom. I still think it's crazy to blame me, and I also think it's crazy to say I should have to agree to this, but I'm willing to be big enough to ask if I'm wrong and accept if people think I am wrong. So do you think I broke up his relationship? Was I okay for saying no to her taking my kid for the day on my parenting time? I am so curious.
All right, sick cunt. First up, if you want your partner to be able to spend time with your kid and your ex hasn't had anything or much to do with him at that point, you do it properly. You tell your ex, your co-parent, hey, I've gotten engaged to this person. I would like to be able to spend some more time with the two of them so that they can get to know each other better. I would like you to meet them first, because I know most people would much rather know the person their child is going to be spending the time with. And this is just not the way to do it. You definitely don't send the new partner to pick up the child, especially not without talking to your co-parent with them about it. What?
I was just confirming that you were finishing your sentence because
Yeah.
again I couldn't tell. Like what's standing out to me is the best friend who is like everyone would love people to like be there for their kid. Yeah, cunts I know. Like, this bitch could be fucking anybody. Like, you don't just pass your kid off to anybody without any sort of vetting process. And if you've got a baby daddy that ain't a fucking round, that isn't bothering to do much for their own kid, then I don't trust their vetting process. If I barely trust them, I'm not going to trust anyone connected to them. Least of all someone who is so fucking unstable that the second they don't have unfiltered access to my child, say, well, then we can't be in a relationship. Like, that's giving baby snatcher vibes.